Hello everybody! Today we want to give you an introduction into the oil painting materials that you will need during your studies at the Academy of Fine Art Germany. Oil paint has been used by the old masters for centuries and is desired for its flexibility and depth in color until today. You can work a la prima or in many layers, direct or indirect, and manipulate the drying time and consistency by using different oils, spirits and resins. That makes it a complex topic to dive into, but a rewarding one that offers many possibilities. Oil paint is essentially made of pigment and oil as a binder. Each pigment has its own quality. Some are transparent, some are opaque, some are of a natural source and some are synthetic, some dry faster and others slower. Be aware that there are also toxic pigments like lead, cobalt and cadmium. For the beginning, you will need lead or titanium white, yellow ochre, English red, raw umber, and ivory black. Later, you will also need Naples yellow or cadmium yellow, vermilion or cadmium red, alizarin crimson, cobalt blue, and ultramarine blue. To adjust the consistency of the paint on the palette, we use linseed oil as a paint medium. It should be cold pressed and cleaned. Walnut oil is a slower drying alternative. Later, we will also need stand oil, which is a modified linseed oil. We will also need a solvent to use in our medium mixtures for the imprimatura and eventually to clean our brushes. Traditionally, turpentine is used, which is probably the most health-damaging material that we use in oil painting. Avoid breathing it in and consider alternatives like odorless thinner, white spirits, and mineral spirits. Spike oil is a non-toxic alternative. Use a wooden palette that is light and ergonomic, but big enough to allow good organization of the paint. The palette should have a medium value and neutral tone, since it will be the background for your paint mixtures. Some palettes, for example the brand new Wave, come already sealed. If the wood isn't already sealed, prepare the surface well before using it. Lightly sand the raw wood and rub some oil into it. Repeat the process until the surface is sealed. Attach a medium cup that has a small opening and a lid to your palette and never fill it more than half to avoid spilling the oil. Your brushes should have strong and elastic bristles, for example hog hair. Have a selection of different sizes available, including at least a few big brushes for backgrounds and a fine drawing brush. Keep your brushes in good shape. We will show you how at the end of this video. Have a few sable or synthetic brushes available for blending and for working on smoother surfaces. Use a palette knife for mixing your paint. Keep your palette organized and use different brushes for different colors. When mixing two colors, blend them into each other with a palette knife until no stripes remain. As a painting support, we recommend oil-primed canvas made of linen or gesso-primed wooden panels. You can buy the canvas stretched and ready to go, or purchase the stretcher bars and the primed canvas separately. That gives you the option of choosing the exact format and canvas that you want to use. Prepare the surface with the imprimatura. This first paint layer provides you with a neutral tone on which you can work towards the light and the dark. Use fast-drying pigments like raw umber and spread it with a solvent. If your painting support is too absorbent, you can use linseed oil instead. Have some paper towel, some masking tape and a metal bin at hand. If you have never painted with oil before, you can do some small exercises to get a feeling for the material. With your palette knife, mix a scale of 5 values from black to dark grey, middle grey, light grey and white and put them on the canvas with a brush. Then create a transition from black to white by using transparency and letting the imprimatura shine through. For a smooth transition, put the brushstrokes next to each other and then blend them with a soft brush. You can also put paint on the canvas with your palette knife, for example to achieve impasto in the light areas. It can also be used to scrape off paint to make corrections and to keep your shadows thin and transparent. Try out different brushes and different amounts of medium. Try pure paint, then add a little bit of oil as a medium. See what happens if you use different sides of your brush. You can cover the canvas with direct and opaque paint or choose a more atmospheric approach. After the painting session, clean your palette with some solvent and a paper towel. Wipe any excess paint off your brushes with a paper towel. Then use a brush cleaner with some solvent to wash out any remaining pigments. Now wash your brushes with soap under warm water. To keep the brushes in shape, wrap a piece of paper towel around the bristles and store them horizontally while drying. Always take good care of your materials and of your own safety. We wish you a good start into the painting program.